So yesterday, there was a multitude of people, a multitude of people that said, cease fire now. And there was also a huge outcry against the genocide that's going on within Palestine against the Palestinian people, whether it's in what I prefer to call an open air concentration camp within Gaza or throughout the rest of the West Bank. There has been a genocide going on at the hands of the IDF, at the hands of Netanyahu, at the hands of the Israeli military. And it's been going on in different cities around the world. Now, this has been taking span over the last few weeks, but it has grown in intensity over the last week or so because people are seeing the occupation for what it is. So let's get into this. I'm going to share this just a little bit. We're going to start off here. This was in the last day or so in London. Hold on. Gotta mute that because YouTube be they be fidgety about that. But this is what was in London over the last day. As you can see, London packed with people. Now, let's stop London. Let's go to the next city. This is a great channel, which I will be sharing with you guys in a second. But let's go to Rome. This is in Rome, Italy.
Siamo qua per lottare per la Palestina, per portare in piazza le nostre rivendicazioni e le nostre battaglie, perché i soldi non devono essere dati alle spese militari per produrre armi, alla spesa sociale, alle case per gli studenti, alla sanità, alla spesa pubblica.
No, io voglio pace, non voglio di più, voglio pace.
So basically, everybody's out there. This is in Rome, Italy. Let's go to the next city. This was massive. This is massive. Here's Dusseldorf in Germany. This is massive. Whatever anybody says, oh, well, the world stands with Israel. No, boo. I do not see one blue and white flag out there. I see a lot of black, white, green, and red. And that's it. Because people are against illegal occupation. People are against the genocide that is happening. We're going to go to New York, and we're going to do our last stop in Washington. This is New York. NYC. They came out. In fact, let me take the sound off. Let's hear what they have to say. That sign says genocide, quote, fits quite nicely with the Raytheon Defense portfolio, end quote. That's from Kristen Litwig, Morgan Stanley. Damn. Wow. They're quoting Joe Biden. They're literally quoting Genocide Joe. Says, quote, were there not in Israel, the U.S. would have to invent in Israel to protect our interests in the region, end quote. That's from Joe Biden in 1986. These statements come back to haunt and bite you in the ass. And it's literally biting him in the ass right now. All right. So now we're going to get to Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. was oh Lord. I didn't even get to, there's here in Australia, Senegal, Sweden, just so many, right? But DC, dear God, this was huge. And I'm just going to let this play.
Hey, Maz, I'm here. 14 and Pennsylvania.
Look at this, guys.
We struggle for dignity, sovereignty, usual, while our people are stripped of their
Talk to you later, all right?
Look at this crowd. Look at this. You cannot tell me without a shadow of a doubt that the world is saying no, not only to Israel, but the world is saying no to the West. If this doesn't give you chills, I don't know what will. Over 300,000 showed up in Washington, D.C. alone yesterday. 300,000. Do you know how many people showed up for President Obama's inauguration in 2008? 250,000. This was bigger than Obama's inauguration in 2008. People are sick and tired of the imperialism. They're sick and tired of the colonialism. And we know the reason for the existence of Israel. And to be honest with you, the existence of Israel its inception is actually anti-Semitic. Because for the most part, the Europeans didn't actually want Jewish people among them. They wanted them to leave. They didn't like them there. And then on top of it, it's also a twofold measure because of the Second World War. Because of what Jewish people went through. But it was done via imperialist means instead of refugee means. But this is what's happening. And like I said this on the stream before. If you want to move to Palestine to live among the people, that's fine. Just don't take people's stuff. Don't take their land. Don't take their houses. Live among them. Yeah. Jewish people have been living among the people in Palestine for centuries. There's always been solidarity and unity there. But because of this project to turn it into a Zionist state and steal land, that's the issue. Look at this. This is a group of people that's saying in the occupation, in the slaughter. If this doesn't give you goosebumps, look at this. I just want you guys to drink in the sheer magnitude of this. What's going on right now with McDonald's? Stocks have went down. Starbucks stocks have went down because people are now boycotting, right? And to anybody that's Palestinian that's watching, know that the world stands with you. Know that. And one of the things I wanted to address is you get a lot of people that go, well, violence and selfishness are just inherent in people. It's part of human nature. No, it's not. When they say that violence and selfishness is just inherent in human nature, we're just a grotesque species by nature. Really, that's just a lie that the corporate dictators will tell you to try to make us look more like them. When in reality, the only reason why they're in the position that they're in is because they are anomalies within humanity that have thrown their humanity away. They've thrown it away, and then they want us, who have kept our humanity, to say, you're just like me. No, we're not. Case in point. Exhibit A. Because we're not going to sit there and look at the dismembering of babies and say, well, that's just collateral damage, or that's just the cost of war, or, well, they shouldn't have voted in for Hamas. Then maybe, just maybe, that wouldn't have happened. We don't make excuses for that. Also, in a situation where, let's say, a school shooter, are we going to bomb the school just to get rid of the school shooters? Kids be damned. Are we going to do that? Or are we going to send a team in to target the school shooter, to take them out, to save the kids in the school. That's right? Like, why is Israel bombing hospitals, churches, schools? Why are they bombing them when they literally could just send a ground troops to take out who they deem the terrorists? Why are they carpet bombing Gaza? You know why. This is why there are masses, millions of us that are out here. Isn't this beautiful, guys? Right up here at the top, that's a stage. That's the stage. Oh my gosh. Man, this is wild. By the way, not once did I hear anything anti-Semitic said at all. Nothing. Ending the occupation is actually pro-Semitic. That's what ending the occupation is. Because you literally want the people whose land it is, you want them to be safe and safeguarded and have sovereignty, and you want them to have autonomy. You want the Palestinians to have that. That is pro-Semitic. You want to end the occupation because you do not want Jewish lives that are constantly put in danger because they have to protect an illegal settlement that never was theirs. Ending the occupation saves Palestinian and Jewish lives. And people like Netanyahu and Joe Biden are constantly putting people's lives at risk day in and day out. So that is the magnitude of the crowd. Now, I just want to share this as well. This gives you a different kind of scope. Now, shout out to the Answer Coalition for putting this massive protest together. That's who did it. And this is their tweet that they put out. It says, "Today, the people made history. 300,000 marched in Washington, D.C. to demand an end to Biden and Israel's genocide against Gaza and demand freedom for Palestine. This was the March for Palestine. This is a time lapse of all the people that were marching through Washington, D.C. Just look at it. Can you imagine being in that crowd and marching through like that? Shout out to RBN Orlando chapter, mutual aid chapter, Sabiha, because she was there yesterday. We told her, we said, go. If you can go, then go. And she went with her husband. And she was out there. And she was part of making history. So shout out to her as well for being out there. And just look, not even done yet. There's all these people pouring through. Marvelous, right? Marvelous. Marvelous turnout. Makes me proud. Because this means that there are more people out there who have compassion in your hearts. I don't know about you, but this is restoring my faith in humanity. I wanted to talk about this, something that warms your heart. Something that excites you, right? I hope that's what this did. So there were some people out there, even some famous people, that showed up to this march, which was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Let's see, do I have it here? Oh, wow. Yeah. And I'll share that too. Let me share this as well. Let me see. I could have swore I had this already. But it's okay. Let me share this. Now, let me ask you guys a question. You guys know the song, I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. That guy, Macklemore, he was at the protest. Yes. Okay. This is gonna be so interesting. Like, holy crap. I had no idea this dude was based like this, but apparently he was. Here we go. Let's hear what Macklemore had to say.
You know, first and foremost, this is absolutely beautiful to observe today. I didn't expect to be on a microphone, but there are thousands of people here that are more qualified to speak on the issue of a free Palestine than myself. But I will say this. They told me to be quiet. They told me to do my research, to go back, that it's too complex to say something, right? To be silent in this moment. In the last 3 weeks, I've gone back and I've done some research, and I'm teachable. I don't know enough, but I know enough that this is a genocide.
So that was from Macklemore, where he said that what's going on is a genocide. Also, just to share, let me share this. There's another celebrity that was there. And we're going to be covering the celebrities that support Israel and the celebrities that support Palestine on Thursday on the Savvy and JB show. We're going to be just having a discussion, a frank discussion about that. But here is Susan Sarandon way back there with the kufiya on, supporting Palestine. So there she is. She was out there too, making her voice known. And Susan Sarandon said this. She said, "You don't have to be Palestinian to care about what's going on, what's happening in Gaza. I stand with Palestine. No one is free until everyone is free." So, yes. Don't you just love class traders? Because the thing is, it's about what's right. I think that's pretty cool. I wonder if John Cusack was out there. He might have been out there. But yeah. Let's see. And we'll go over who else supports Palestine on Thursday as far as celebrities. So I want to get into that, next time. But that's going to be an interesting list. Sama said Gigi Hadid got a personal angry response from Israel. Yeah, Gigi and Bella Hadid, they're both models. They are both half Palestinian. But yeah. And they're like, yeah, nah, this is genocide. So yeah. So that's what's going on right now. That's what's going on basically within the Imperial Core. Is that now the attention, the narrative have shifted in such a direction that now it's, if you say that, oh, I support Israel, everybody goes, right? It's wild now, right? There was also, let me bring this up too, because I wasn't thinking about bringing this up, but let me bring this up. There was a poll, not a poll, but almost like a metric that was shown. See, I talked about it on a TikTok, but just to share with you guys some perspective. Maybe I should go to my account. Let me see. I've been sharing a lot of stuff. And guys, keep sharing. That's one thing I just want to emphasize to you. Keep sharing about what's going on in Palestine. Do not stop. Do not waver, because guess what? You guys are going to, the narrative has changed. Let me see. I had, let me see. There was it before that? Hang on. I had it. No. Let me see. I should have posted. I should have put that. My bad, guys. There was I had posted a TikTok. Anywho, if I find it, I'll just explain. So right now, right after October 7th, within that week or so, the amount of views that were towards Israel and Palestine within TikTok were roughly equal until closer towards the end of the month of October, where the amount of videos in support for Palestine exploded on TikTok. And the comparison is drastic. And so that's what happened. And as we all know, a majority of people that consume TikTok tend to be the younger generation, Gen Z, younger millennials. Now you're starting to get into Gen Alpha. And so because a lot of them are consuming TikTok, they're getting the truth of what's going out about Gaza and in the West Bank. And so this is why you have so many kids that are now looking at Israel and seeing it for the apartheid state that it is. And they're going, wait, why do people celebrate this settler colonial project? Why are they doing that? And then they're seeing in real time what's happening on the ground. Now, because we're on YouTube, I can't share a lot of the stuff that has been coming out in YouTube, Instagram, and for some of the better part of TikTok, because we'll get flagged, we'll get a strike, we may get demonetized if I do. But I've seen some gruesome stuff. Gruesome. And a lot of the gruesome things that I've seen have been against children, Palestinian children. Dismembered, disfigured bodies, little bodies. Babies that have died in their parents' arms. Children screaming and crying because their parent was murdered. I've seen fathers with their hands trying to dig through the rubble, screaming for their children. Because a lot of times people focus on the women and children, which is appropriate. But just think, as a father, what are some of these men going through? as they realize that their babies are gone. I have been seeing messages of queer Palestinians writing love letters to the person that they are romantically involved with as their last love letter to them, saying things like, "I'll kiss you in heaven." So when people come to me and say, well, some Palestinians, they would get rid of you. I'm pursing my words carefully because we're on YouTube. They would end your life for being gay. First of all, I live in the United States. They would end my life here in this country. But just because you have some anti-LGBTQ people in a given population, does that mean they deserve to be bombed and shelled? If you're making excuses to do what Israel's doing to Palestine because some people are anti-gay within Palestine, then by that same logic, you would be making the same excuse for 9/11. That's terrorist sympathizer type shit. You would be advocating for the destruction of Texas and Florida based on that logic. And you'd be taking out people like me at the same time. Does that make sense? Also, we're against genocide. Isn't that enough? Perish the thought we're actually against genocide. Look, you can't change people's minds and soften their hearts to LGBTQ people if they're all dead. You can't change minds and hearts if the heart's not beating anymore. Right? So when people come to me and go, oh, well, they don't like LGBTQ people in Palestine, they don't like them in Florida. Yet I live here. They don't like them in Texas. Yet I live here. They don't like them in Virginia. Yet I live here in this country. Hell, you can't even get married if you're gay in Israel. Hell, you can't get married in Israel if you're marrying somebody of a different faith. You literally have to leave Israel, get married, and then come back. By the way, is the Israeli government literally blackmails gay Palestinians into infiltrating Palestine and threatens to out them if they don't do what Israel wants. Oh my God. They're so pro-LGBTQ that they will literally do that. That they'll blackmail queer Palestinians. So progressive. Love is love, right? So when people try to come at me with that, miss me with the bullshit. Because you're just going in a roundabout way to excuse genocide. And you've lost all my respect right there. You've lost it. Because you've allowed yourself to be propagandized into a place where you're okay with the ethnic cleansing of a people. Who did that? Oh, yeah. Wasn't that the Europeans when they came to this country with the manifest destiny? And they said, well, they're savages. Look what they do to, and then insert reason. Oh, they're not Christians, so they're savages. Oh, they may have more of a matriarchal type society. They're savages because they allow women to be in positions of power. Oh, they're savages because they actually are okay with people who have different gender identities or people who are in same-sex relationships in some indigenous cultures. They make excuses based on some moral hang-up that they have for genocide. What's the difference between you making that case and a lot of the European colonizers that massacred millions of indigenous people years ago? I'm waiting. What's the difference? You're no different than Columbus himself. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant, but that's my hang up because I constantly get people in my mentions trying to weaponize LGBTQ liberation for the sake of genocide. Does that make sense? God damn. People need to start listening to themselves when they say this type of stuff. It's crazy. It's wicked. Anywho, so take solace into what's going on in around the world in regards to what's going on in Palestine, but also realize this. Everything that you do and support, even if it's tiny, it means something, which means it moves the needle. It opens people's minds and hearts. You're moving the narrative towards the truth. Do not sit here and think, oh, well, I just did a little bit and nothing I do actually really matters. No, everything you do matters. Even if it's just a share, a like, it matters. Even if you just free Palestine, you know, even if, because it matters, because you're of, even if you're a small voice in a choir, you're still part of a choir. Realize that you have power in that. Here is this lovely lady, lovely lady, speaking about it. I want you guys to take what she says to heart, because realize that your voice matters. Here we go.
I keep seeing a lot of people talking about Palestine and how they feel hopeless and they feel like they have no way to contribute and there's nothing that they can do. And I remember my mutual crutches and Spice made a video and they stated that they feel like they're out of their depth when talking about Palestine and then chose to educate us in their area of expertise. And I think that might be one of the biggest problems is everybody is trying to be an expert in an area outside of their depth instead of working with what they have, like crutches and Spice. Some of y'all feel like you can't contribute because what you are able to contribute does not measure up to the people that you look up to. Some of y'all go, well, Jasmine, you have a large platform. I don't have a platform like that. I wouldn't have had the platform had y'all not supported me in the first place. There is no role right now that is too small. If all you can do is share and get information out, you're the paper boy. You're the paper girl. You're the paper person. You're the person that's making sure that information does not die. You are making sure that the voices do not get lost in the motherfucking darkness right now. There's not a role too small. If the steering wheel of a car does not work, you can't drive that bitch. But maybe you're the AC. The AC goes out, a bitch gonna get uncomfortable. Maybe you're that one little screw that's loose in the chariot and it makes it all wobbly. Sometimes you just have to be one of those moving parts that sets everything else into motion.
I don't care if you're a little lug nut in a gigantic machine, you still matter because you're a piece that still holds the entire thing together. Oh, sorry, guys. Guys couldn't hear. I'm going to share the link with you guys. Hang on. Let me see. I'll play it again. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Let me make sure. Yeah, the volume's all the way up. Let me do this. Let me see. I know there's a way to increase the audio. Let me see. No. I think yeah. I may have to just share it so you guys can listen to it on your own time, because for some reason the audio is not as high as it should be. And I can only change the audio for guests, not for screen sharing. Dang it. See, I wish I had volume booster like Savvy does. I wonder. No. I wish I had a volume booster on here. I'm broke, guys. Sorry. But yeah, so basically the gist of what she was saying is, do not fret at your actions, and your solidarity is seemingly in a small amount or a small way, because the thing is that you standing with the Palestinians, and it could be sharing, it could be, just saying that you support Palestine moves the narrative, because many hands make the load light, right? This is a large, heavy boulder that needs to be carried. But if you have a lot of people carrying it, even if some of the people, they may feel like they're weak and feeble, but as long as you're trying, you're contributing to the strength of the entire movement. So do not think for 1 second that, oh, well, I can't do much because my voice is too small. I don't care if you have 2 followers on Twitter. If you're sharing, that's good. I don't care if you only got one friend on Facebook. If you're sharing the streams, and it doesn't have to be RBN, it could be the Left Lens with Danny Haifong, or it could be an article from Black Agenda Report, right? Or it could be a stream from Heartlands. Or you could be sharing an article that was written, by Abby Martin. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you're supporting, and that means the world. Keep it up. because the narrative has shifted and people are realizing the truth. And we saw evidence of that in Washington, D.C. yesterday. Feel good about yourselves because you guys are winning. And when we win, we get the closer to freeing Palestine to the point where we can say Palestine is free.